I'm Shawana.
I'm Imani.
And we are the Ward Sisters. This is Naked, the Father's Day edition. So a lot of people don't know, Imani came back into my life when she was 12 going on 13. We look alike, so they're like, wait a minute, like, is that you? Or she's literally my twin. My dad and Mia was around when she was born, but for 13 years, you know, we moved to Georgia and the communication got cut off for 13 years. And
I had felt the feeling of being avoided. I felt rejected. I didn't feel wanted, a lot of different things, just because I didn't know everything that was necessarily going on at that time in my life.
And while she didn't have them at all, I kind of was there during the experience. So it was traumatic for her on one end, and it was traumatic for me on a whole different end, because I was kind of in it, and it was just like, I was really young. So I seen and a lot of things that I don't know if I really knew how to cope with it. So it's like we both traumatically was affected by it, but on different spectrums, if that makes any sense. And then 13 years later, kind of all tried to come back together. And it was rough. It was really rough, because building rapport and trust, but we were able to kind of bring it back together. And now I feel like we're at a state where we're trying to like really set some foundation so that we can, you know, work through our issues. Dad, I love that you are such a hard worker. You are a go-getter. No matter what obstacles came about in life, like, you always make things happen. You always make stuff shake. Like, we never went without anything, and if we did, we didn't know we was without it, because that's just how much of a hardworking man you are, and I really, really appreciate that.
And Daddy, I just love how you have always taught us to just keep it 100. It was never a thing where you can't be fake, you can't be on no BS, you know. It was always straightforward, but it really taught us how to be strong, independent women, and it taught us how to be, it just taught character for us and stuff like that. So a lot of people don't have it, and growing up, the older I get, I see how important it is, you know, to just keep it real. And just when you're real with yourself, you can be real with the world in every situation you're in. So I'm forever thankful for that, and you're amazing for that.
I love that you taught me to never be a follower. You always instilled in my brain, like, you need to be a leader. When you're confident in yourself and you don't settle for less, people gravitate to you and they follow you. You always want to be ahead of the pack, ahead of the game. And I'm already a Leo, so it's just like that, just completely, like, I'm always all about my business and being an individual and staying true to myself, and I can't live any other way. So it's like that seep into my career life, and I'll always be appreciative of that. Like, those are morals that I'll always have close to my heart. So thank you, Dad.
And one thing I really appreciate is when you always taught us to never use the word can't. Because when you say you can't use the word can't, it shows us there's no ceiling, there's no limitations to anything, to success. So you always taught us to, you know, especially now that you're starting your own business, kudos to you.
Hey, congratulations, Dad.
Black man magic. But you just show us that, you know, we can do anything. And as a people, black people, whatever, you know, maybe I should have said that part.
No, yes. we really, black girl magic, black boy magic, but we really believe that, like, there's nothing that we don't think we can do because of him instilling that in us. So thanks, Dad. Last thing I appreciate, like, early on, you really showed me that chivalry is not dead. You opened doors. You would not allow me to go into a building, to get into a car, unless you open the door. You showed me that chivalry isn't dead, and how that a man can still romance you and love you the way that you deserve to be treated. So thanks, Dad. Chivalry isn't dead.
Oh, and I wanted to say that my last thing for you is that you're very transparent. A lot of people that know you and people that don't know you, you went through a lot in your life, and you have overcame a lot, and you've always been so raw. And then you always showed us there's no shame. You know, don't live in shame. Don't hold your head down. Your story is what makes you who you are and who you are, but you don't have to live through it. You don't have to live in the past, but you can overcome the past, and you can share with others. And you just always showed us that, and I just feel like that's just a trait that is just priceless. And to have someone like you in our life, like, it's wonderful, because it really helped me get through a lot of things. It helped me to get through things that I went through, and now the woman I am and the woman that Shawana is, we can share our life story with people who is meant to be for, you know, whoever God wants us to talk to that time. We're not afraid to talk. We're not ashamed to talk.
Most definitely. So one of the things that I feel like, even piggybacking off of our voice that we experienced from the traumatic experience, I feel I didn't know. You couldn't have told me at a younger age that the older I got, the more I would feel like I need my dad. But the older I get, the sensation is really strong that we need to have a strong connection with our Father. And it's not that he's not there, but I think that you have like this mentality like, well, we're all adults now, and so our life is our life. When we see each other, we see each other. When we talk, and like it's okay. But it's not. And I can't speak for Imani, but I feel like we're on the same page. We feel like you kind of let us down in that aspect, because I really need you. We really need you. And it's like I feel like I voiced to you that once before, and it's kind of like you heard me and I felt like you received it, but I felt like, you know, no action was done behind it. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we can communicate more too, but it's kind of like, maybe because we feel like of the voice before and how we kind of had no control over what happened as children, that maybe you should step up to the plate. I don't know, but it really hurts, and I don't know if I'm coping with it in the right manner.
And I'm just gonna piggyback off of what Shawana was saying. Also, for me, I definitely feel the same way. That's probably like my number one thing, because I feel like the older that we get, just like Shawana said, we do actually, I feel like for anybody, you actually need your parent more. Because the advice is so vital when you grow up. The older you get, you know, your independence, you really want to hear what your parent has to say. And then family, you know, you don't have as many friends because life, you just see the difference in people and stuff like that. So you stick to your family the older you get, and it's just like a thing where
it's almost like that love. It's almost like the love that we was beginning to receive from you. It's like it cut off when we got older, and it's like, what the hell? Like, what happened? And it's like,
where you at?
We need that.
Just how when I was growing up, I felt very separated and disconnected from everyone, because you guys lived in Norfolk and I lived in Richmond for the majority of my life. Now that, you know, we're all back together, but we're an adults and stuff like that, it's almost like we're treated like we're three different families. Like, Shawana has her family, Imani has her own thing, and you have your own thing going on. But I just feel like it shouldn't be like that, because unity is everything. I feel like the devil is the kingdom of bringing people apart.
Family, yeah.
And he doesn't want that. And I just feel like we have a very beautiful, different connection. We all look just alike. All your kids look just like you. We act like you. Like, it's crazy. It's like we all came from the same mama. Well, we didn't. We got the same daddy.
And it's like we don't feel unified. It's just like it kind of feels like we, like she said, we doing our own thing, and when we get together, it's like catching up with old friends. Where versus what we kind of got used to, the daddy-daughter relationship. Because I even remember when we first got back in Imani's life, my daddy used to go and see her a lot. Like, they used to do stuff all the time. Because I think I was in college, I think, but like he used to go to Richmond a lot to see Imani, and they kind of started formulating a relationship, and then it was like it just kind of randomly stopped.
Yeah, it's just stopped.
The older we got, so it's just like, and I also feel like that seeps into my life and how I treat other people,
And just to piggyback off what Shawana's saying, it also, even though for Shawana, like, daddy, you were there from the majority of her life and stuff like that, it still gives both of us what you want to call like daddy issues,
right?
The syndrome, because it's like a lack as an adult. It's like, you're here, you're not here. It's like an inconsistency thing, and then it's
and
like
literally down the street.
Yeah, and then it brings like the feeling of inconsistency in other relationships. All it does is just it goes in, if we're in a relationship with someone else, or we have a friendship or work, whatever the case may be, it all pours through. It shows, reflects, shines bright like a diamond in our life, and unity is just everything. And we're not too old to be, we still your baby girls, like you call us. We are not too old to hang with daddy, and
we want to do more stuff together. We want to spend more time together, because at the end of the day, all you have is family. So we don't have each other. It's just who more to lean on. You always taught us to be big on family, and I just feel like you kind of not living by that. And circumstances happen, but that's why we're doing this, because we want to fix this. We want to get back to our roots.
Yeah.
So, but we said all that to say that we love you.
Yes, we love you so much. We appreciate you.
Happy Father's Day, Dad.